Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, gang. We're talking to everybody in the room, really. We've got an unusual circumstance that we wanted to explain before we call the meeting to order. We don't have a quorum present in the room. And so on Friday, we found out that was going to be the case. Dave is with family having his first grandchild. And so we looked for exceptions to the rule, and the only one that I was familiar with that could apply is teleconferencing in a council member for purposes of having a meeting. And there is a provision that is limited to statewide jurisdiction committees, and that is it's 5014-1 of the open meetings. The G section of that says this. It says, under circumstances necessitated by emergency conditions involving the preservation of property or public services, agencies or committees thereof, not otherwise permitted by subsection F of this code section, to conduct meetings by teleconference may meet by means of teleconference so long as notice is required by the chapter is given. And so what we have to do is make a judgment call about the definition of preservation of property or public services. And so the only thing that was going to be on your public agenda tonight for action is the first read of 2 zoning matters. And when we look at that, we go to a section 2-18 of your code, which requires each ordinance shall be presented at 2 consecutive meetings of this mayor and city council. So the issue of preservation of rights is really those people who have filed those zoning actions. They would be kicked out of this month's consideration into next month, and we think that we may be interfering with contractual rights that have to do with the use of those properties. So we're balancing what is a very small action, which is the waiver of the first read, to keep it in that sequence required by 2.118, and against, are we interpreting this code section correctly, and do we rise to the level? And we think, as your attorneys, we think we do. Now, what we're going to ask is that it be placed on your call meeting with a quorum present to reaffirm the first read at your next special call meeting. Now, your code section,
The first read.
so
Okay.
your code section doesn't anticipate having a call meeting, so we would have checked off the blank on 2118 by having this meeting the way we're having it, and then a quorum and vote will take place to reaffirm that at your next meeting. We need at least 4 present for that, just to make it through the sequence of those things. Now, we would have been in this position anyway. Your mayor pro tem and your mayor are not present, and so the group as a whole will need to elect a chair, including our telephonically connected Dave Emanuel, and elect a chair after the city clerk calls the meeting to order and then conducts that election of a chair. We have sort of prepared Christy. There's a lot to going into the agenda itself and stuff, so we sort of prepared her for that process if y'all choose that. So.
Okay. All right, we'll call the September the 10th work session to order at 6:34, and I'll ask for a motion to elect a chair.
I'll make a motion.
I nominate Christy Lenski to serve the function of chair for this meeting.
We gotta shut you up, man.
Okay, Dave made a motion to nominate Christie. Second,
Just teasing. Second.
Gretchen second. All in favor?
I
Do I get to vote or no?
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, so
Press 1 for yes.
so it's 4-0, Christie is the chair.
Great.
Okay.
All right, we're already called to order, so moving on to item 2, reviewing the regular business and public hearing agenda items. Any questions on the agenda? We've got invocation by
Reverend
Jonathan Dawson.
Jonathan Dawson, Snellville Christian Church.
And the pledge by Gwinnett County Special Needs Royal Court.
Yes.
And
And may I-
presentation afterwards for,
I would just add, despite about 3
sure.
emails back and forth to them, I'm still not absolutely certain who is going to show up, but I have little biographies for
Oh, good.
the ones I think, and some of these people are coming from as far away as Swanee, you know, and if it wouldn't take too much time, I would just like, and some of them, it's amazing what these people are doing.
Right.
I would just like to have an opportunity to introduce them, if
Sure.
that's okay, since we don't have a real long
Right.
agenda.
I think either way, even if we did, I think that would be appropriate. So,
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, any issue with the minutes?
No.
No, motion to approve the minutes of the August 27th meeting.
I'm sorry, we're not there, Dave.
Well,
Sorry.
move along. That's why we elected
We're
you.
simply reviewing the agenda and public hearing items. And
I'm glad to see you're paying attention.
we're going to cut you off in the next, that's your first one and you only get 2.
Oh, okay.
So, and I assume that Dave Emanuel will not be presenting the CID, so we'll go ahead and strike that off the agenda for next time. 2 public hearings, both of them are waived to 9/24.
Okay, I have a question. You said we're going to reaffirm the first reading at the next meeting. So do we waive the
Just
first
like you
read-
always
Just
do.
like we always do?
Just
We
like
don't
you
need to
always
say
do. Don't
anything
have to
about
say anything.
reaffirming?
No.
Okay.
And the next meeting date is September 24th.
And I have a question about these. I don't know if you heard my voicemail I left for you today. Oh, I didn't get it. Uh-oh.
Ask the question.
Okay, well, on both of these zoning matters, I noticed that we stipulate that the driveways must be, 20 feet long? Let me go back and check.
Yeah, you were asking.
Garages shall be set back no less than 20 feet from the sidewalk. Is that in agreement with, a couple months ago, we
Yeah, the
had
one
a,
across the street.
Yeah,
It's
the
consistent.
one across.
The street might be a little bit longer, it may be 22. You remember?
I think
Yeah,
it
no,
was
we
22.
specified 22 feet on that previous one, and I
This
think
one
we
was
should do the
done
same on
before
this.
that one. Before, I still think 20 feet's plenty long enough to.
Is
Yeah, I
it
heard
22?
22, yeah.
Dave, did you say 22?
Yes.
Yeah, but.
Correct.
2, just kind of when we're looking at this case again, and if you weren't, we're really not opening up all those other ones again. They've already been approved and permitted and now have, basically are in the platting process based on those conditions. So anything that we kind of touched that was before what they're considering now, it gets us into kind of a sticky situation. But that one was 20. The one at the other place was 22 because Councilman Emanuel was worried about some of the larger, like trucks and vehicles. So there's a 2-foot difference between the two. And that's probably something we'll build into the code so we don't have to keep doing this. But yeah, there's a 2-foot difference, but we really can't touch any of those. They've already laid out location plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay. I was just concerned about being consistent.
The whole neighborhood will be consistent though, that
Mhm.
whole piece.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the public hearing items? Okay, going on to correspondence. Butch isn't here for our correspondence. You would be the only one to have it, right? Okay, city attorney's report.
I do have some items to go over in executive session, and that there are not many of them, both litigation and real estate issues.
Okay. And our discussion items, we'll put off the update on ongoing projects until the next meeting. That will be Butch going over a lot of new information, I'm sure. And then item B under the discussion will be the Gwinnett County Public Library Gala. Basically, on the second page of the printout today gives information about becoming a sponsor for the library. What interest level does everybody have in that? Are we interested enough to buy a table for the city? It would be a really good idea because obviously that's gonna be a keystone piece of our town center to build up a relationship, I think, with the libraries. November 2nd is the date. It's a Friday. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think we should do a table as a minimum. I don't know if the $2,500, which is the next level, is warranted or not. We get 23 drink tickets for that.
23 drink, you say 23
Yeah, I know
drink
that would be
tickets
important to you, Christie.
With, does it come with an Uber pass? I really like the idea of doing a table personally. Do we have 10 people that would go from the city?
Yeah, I think we can put 10 people together. I think maybe some staff members who don't get to go to much of this stuff.
I think that would be great, because these are really nice to go to. The food is usually awesome, and, you know, the company is certainly
Oh, yeah, we do with
above
other council
average, I'm
members.
sure.
What could be better?
Yeah,
Who put this on the
So-
agenda?
that, it's a discussion item.
Yeah, but
for
who brought it up?
Butch.
Butch. Any thoughts you have?
My only thought is why this and not the other one that I proposed, like
What other one did you propose?
the Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful thing, the one that Bobby had bought a bunch of times before, and then
Uh-huh.
he got off, and then I decided, and then nobody wanted to do
The
it.
governor's dinner, the governor's
Yeah.
luncheon, where
Yeah.
he spoke on environmental.
Yeah.
Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
I think that just slipped through the cracks because I was expecting to talk about it some more, and next thing I know, it was all over.
So you didn't end up going to that one?
Oh, I still went.
No.
You did? Okay. Yeah, wasn't that during the day though? It was on a
Yeah.
time period that I know I couldn't have gone.
I think it was
Um,
lunchtime.
Yeah,
for them.
Yeah, it was a
a
lunch.
lunchtime rather than an evening thing. Yeah. I think it was, to me, it would have been just, my answer to that would be the timing aspect. But, for this one, I really like, you know, the idea of us building a better relationship with a library.
Yeah, that's important.
So, that's my feeling. And 2, 3,
We
table?
don't, do we need to vote
I
on
don't
this
know.
or just consensus?
Probably need
I don't
a,
know.
I think it's within Butch's spending authority.
Discretion.
If y'all nod in that direction, I think
Okay.
he has the
I'm a
ability
yes.
to do it.
Yes.
I say yes.
so we're 3 yeses, and Dave is a yes?
I'm a yes.
Okay, sounds good to me. Okay. So that is it. Seems like we'll be ready to go into our executive session now.
Okay.
Anything else we want to raise before we go in? Okay. I've always wanted to read this. During the work.
Dreams do come true.